Okay, welcome back in. I'm not going to be reviewing all of Wednesday's action from the NHL. There were 7 games on tap, therefore 14 teams were hungry for 2 points in the standings. Starting with the teams you can see on your screen as the Arizona Coyotes went into Florida to take on the Panthers. Take a look at the game summary from this matchup. Just a minute and 53 seconds in the first, Matthew Tkachuk would open up the scoring, getting his 14th goal of the season from Connor Verhaeghe and Forsling. Reinhart would get his 35th goal of the year, a power play goal, 8 minutes and 44 seconds in that frame, assisted by Tkachuk and Barkov. Sam Bennett would score 15 seconds after that, increasing the lead to 3-0, his 11th goal of the season from Verhaeghe and Forsling. So after 20 minutes of play, it was 3-0 in favor of the Panthers. In the second, Tkachuk would get his second goal of the game, his 15th of the year from Lundell and Verhaeghe, 4 minutes and 14 seconds into the frame. And with a minute and 43 seconds remaining, Lundell would increase the lead to 5-0, getting his 4th goal of the season from Reinhart and Luostarinen. So after 40 minutes of play, it was 5-0 in favor of the Panthers. In the third, Gadjevich will get his first goal of the season for the Panthers, assisted by Stenlund 2 minutes and 27 seconds into the period. It would be 6-0 at that point in favor of Florida. Guenther would finally get the Arizona Coyotes on the board. A power play goal, 3 minutes and 25 seconds into that frame. His 3rd of the season from Keller and Kerfoot. Logan Cooley would give the Arizona Coyotes their 2nd goal of the game with 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. An even strength goal from Guenther and Michelli. So 6-2 would be the final score. With the victory, the Panthers are now 29-14-4, currently sitting 2nd in that Atlantic Division, while the Arizona Coyotes are 23-20-3, and we'll just take a quick little gander and see where they're at in the standings. So they're currently sitting just 2 points out of a playoff spot, as they have the number 4th spot in the Western Conference, and they're trailed the second wildcard spot just by 2 points. So they're staying in the hunt, to say the least. All right, the next matchup took place in Toronto. We had the Maple Leafs playing host to the Winnipeg Jets. All right. This would be a very low-scoring affair. There was no scoring in the first, second, third, or overtime, so we would take a shootout to determine a winner in this one. No surprise here, Austin Matthews would play the hero in this matchup. It would take an overtime to decide a winner. Austin Matthews would get the game-winning goal, his 39th of the season from Morgan Rielly and Robertson. Samsonov bounced back in a big way, to say the least, after struggling for so long. And so it's good on Samsonov to finally get a victory under his belt after stopping 32 shots from the Winnipeg Jets. So with the victory, Toronto is now currently sitting 24-14-8. They're sitting 3rd in the Atlantic Division. And despite the loss, Winnipeg Jets are still 1st in that Central Division with a record of 30-11-5. All right. The next matchup takes place in Boston, where they played host to the Carolina Hurricanes. So we'll take a look at that particular game, whoever was victorious, and I'll go over the record once I am done going over the goal scoring summary. So in the first, Nietzsche would kick things off for the Carolina Hurricanes. It would be a late goal, a minute and 56 seconds to go, a power play goal with that, his 12th of the season from Brady Shea and Drury. In the second, Teravainen would get a power play goal of his own with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go, his 15th of the season from Jarvis and Sebastian Aho. In the third period, Brad Marchand would finally get the Bruins on the board. A minute and 30 seconds into that frame, his 22nd of the year from Frederick and Lindholm. Marchand would tie the game up 7 minutes and 20 seconds into that period, getting his 2nd goal of the game, his 23rd of the season from Charlie Coyle and Trevor Frederick. Martinook would get the game-winning goal with just 2 minutes and 27 seconds remaining, 7th of the season from Teravainen and Sebastian Aho. So 3-2 would be the final score from Boston. Despite the loss, the Bruins still have a 5-point lead in the Atlantic Division for first, 29-9-9, and with the victory, The Carolina Hurricanes are sitting second in that Metropolitan Division with a record of 26, 15, and 5. All right. So the next matchup takes place in Colorado. We have the Avalanche playing host to the Washington Capitals. So we'll take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. In the first, Cale Makar will get a short-handed goal with just 47 seconds remaining, his 11th goal of the season from Andrew Cogliano. After one period, it was obviously 1-0 in favor of the Avs. McKinnon would get a power play goal in the second, 2 minutes and 39 seconds in that frame, his 27th of the season from Rantanen and Cale Makar. He would then get a power play goal 7 minutes into that period, his 28th of the season, his second goal of the game, assisted by Makar and Rantanen. Just 2 minutes and 16 seconds after that, he would get a natural hat trick, getting his 29th of the season from Rantanen. And after 40 minutes of play, it was 4-0 in favor of the Avs. Dylan Strome would finally get the Capitals on the board, 7 minutes and 26 seconds into that third period, his 17th of the season from Max Pacioretty and Alex Ovechkin. Rantanen would increase the lead to 5-1 with 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go, getting his 27th of the season, assisted by Drouin and McKinnon. Speaking of McKinnon, he would get his 4th goal of the night with 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go, his 30th goal of the season from Rantanen and Ross Colton. Dylan Strome would get his 2nd goal of the game late in that frame with 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining, his 18th of the season from Tom Wilson and Ethan Bear. 6-2 would be the final score in favor of Colorado. So we'll take a look at the standings for both these teams. So with the victory, the Avs are actually currently tied with Winnipeg in that first place in the Central Division. They're currently sitting second in that division with a record of 31, 14, and 3. And with the loss, the Capitals are 22, 18, and 6. They are currently 3 points out of a playoff spot. All right. Next matchup took place in Seattle. We had the Kraken playing host to the Chicago Blackhawks. All right, take a look at the matchup. In the first, McCann would open up the scoring for the Seattle Kraken, getting his 19th of the season from Jordan Eberle and Justin Schultz, 4 minutes and 34 seconds into that frame. Jaden Schwartz would increase the lead to 2-0, 7 minutes and 12 seconds in that period, his 10th of the season from Burakovsky and Vince Dunn. Joey Anderson would finally get the Chicago Blackhawks on the board late in that frame, 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go, his 2nd of the season from Seth Jones and Jason Dickinson. In the second period with 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go, Tanev would increase the lead to 4-1, getting his 4th goal of the season from Dumoulin and Cartle. In the third period, Nick Foligno, who was just recently re-signed by the Chicago Blackhawks, would get a power play goal 39 seconds into that third period, his 9th of the season from Kurashev and Seth Jones. Tomas Tatar would increase the lead to 5-2, 4 minutes and 28 seconds into that period, his 5th of the season from Eberle and Justin Schultz. He would then add his 2nd goal of the game, his 6th of the season with 3 minutes and 38 seconds to go from Borgen and McCann. So 6-2 would be the final score in favor of Seattle. With the victory, the Kraken are now sitting at 20, 18, and 9. They are currently 2 points out of a playoff spot, while the Chicago Blackhawks are sitting pretty much tied for place in the Western Conference with a record of 14, 32, and 2. All right. And the last game. Oh, wait, no, there's 2 more games, sorry. So the next matchup took place in Vancouver, where they played host to the St. Louis Blues. All right. Take a look at the matchup. In the first, Jake Neighbors would open up the scoring for the Blues, 6 minutes and 46 seconds to go, his 15th of the season, assisted by Rob Thomas. Buchnevich will get a power play goal less than 2 minutes after that, 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the period, his 14th goal of the season from Neighbors and Rob Thomas. After 20 minutes of play, it was 2-0 in favor of the Blues. Pius Sutter would finally get the Vancouver Canucks on the board but it would take all the way until the third period for that to happen, getting his 10th goal of the season from Besser and Quinn Hughes. Torpachenko would increase the lead to 3-1. I meant 41. Sorry, just 41 seconds after Pius Sutter scored. That would be his 7th goal of the season from Kevin Hayes and Walker. Pius Sutter would then get his 2nd goal of the game on a power play, 5 minutes and 42 seconds into that frame. His 11th of the season, assisted Brock Besser. And then with just under a minute to go, who else but Pius Sutter would get a natural hat trick, his 12th of the season, from JT Miller and Quinn Hughes. Despite the fact that they were able to come back after being down 2-0 and 3-1, Braden Shen, the captain of the St. Louis Blues, would end the game a minute and 54 seconds into that overtime period, getting his 12th goal of the season, assisted by Nick Leddy. So with the victory, the Blues are sitting at 24-20-2. They're only a 1 point behind Nashville for that eighth and final wildcard spot. And with the loss, the Canucks still have a 7-point lead on the Vegas Golden Knights. They're currently sitting first in that Pacific Division with a record of 32-11-5. All right, now we're off to the last matchup, which took place in Los Angeles, where they played host to the Buffalo Sabres. All right, take a look at the game summary from this matchup. Anze Kopitar would open up the scoring 2 minutes and 55 seconds into that opening period, getting his 15th goal of the season from Kempe and Waugh. Peterka would tie the game up 5 minutes and 1 second in that same period, his 15th of the season, assisted by Dylan Cousins. Adrian Kempe would give the Kings a 2-1 lead, his 16th of the season from Doughty and Byfield, 5 minutes and 24 seconds in that frame. And then Pierre-Luc Dubois would get a goal on a power play, 9 minutes and 44 seconds, his 10th of the year, assisted by Lafayette and Clark. So after 20 minutes of play, it was 3-1 in favor of Los Angeles. Peterka would get his 2nd goal of the game in the 2nd period, 8 minutes and 22 seconds into that frame, assisted by Quinn. Speaking of Quinn, he would get on the goal score sheet himself, 9.5 minutes to go, his 5th of the season from Middlestad and Johnson. So after 40 minutes of play, we're all knotted up at 3. In the third, Alex Tuch would get a game-winning goal, 5 minutes and 49 seconds into that period, his 13th of the season from Robinson and Krebs. Then Cousins would add to the lead 8 minutes and 54 seconds into that period, his 9th of the season from Peterka and Quinn. So the Sabres would come back from being down 3-1 and win this game 5-3 in overtime. Not overtime, sorry, in regulation. With the victory, the Sabres are currently 7 points out of a playoff spot. They have I don't know. It's going to be very unlikely that they make the postseason unless they go on a very crazy run. But yeah, that's just my bold prediction. Being 7 or 8 points back this late in the season, even though every team's played roughly at 50 games, it's going to be a tough hill to climb. But I mean, crazier things have happened. And with the loss, the Los Angeles Kings, they're still sitting in a wild card spot with a record of 22-14-9. All right, that takes care of my recap from Wednesday of the NHL. As always, if you like this type of content and you're new to this channel, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, take care.